Are you tired of being overlooked, used, and underestimated? Do you feel like no matter how much you give, people just take more? If so, it's time to face a reality that most people refuse to acknowledge. Being too nice is destroying your life. You think kindness will bring you love, respect, and success, but the truth? It's making you weak. It's turning you into a doormat. And today, I'm going to expose the 10 brutal truths about being too nice. Truths that most people will never tell you. If you want to break free from the trap of people-pleasing and take control of your life, keep watching. Truth number 1, people don't respect doormats. They step on them. Brace yourself, because I'm about to reveal something that might crush everything you thought you knew about kindness and niceness. Being too nice isn't a virtue, it's a vulnerability. People don't see it as an admirable trait, they see it as an opportunity. They will walk all over you. You've been told that being nice, being selfless, is what makes you a good person. But here's the brutal truth. Nice people who sacrifice their boundaries are not respected, they are exploited. Let's be crystal clear. When you become a doormat, you become invisible. You become a person that others step on without hesitation, without care, without respect. The world doesn't respect weakness. It doesn't respect submission. It rewards strength. It rewards those who know what they want, who demand respect, who stand up for themselves and won't let anyone treat them as anything less than their worth. When you're a doormat, you erase your own value. Stop and think for a moment. Why do you say yes to everyone? Why do you allow people to use your time, your energy, your resources without ever considering your needs or desires? Because you're afraid to say no. You're afraid to disappoint someone. You're afraid of being labeled as rude, selfish, or uncaring. But here's the reality check. You are being used, and the more you keep allowing it, the more people will take from you until there's nothing left to give. I want you to look around at the people who demand your attention, your help, your time. Ask yourself, do they respect you? Or do they only value what you can do for them? The truth is, people don't respect doormats. They walk all over them. They don't care how much you give. They don't care about your well-being. They only care about what they can take from you. You can sacrifice your time, your energy, your personal life, and they'll keep asking for more, never acknowledging your needs, never showing any appreciation for all you've done. Why? Because you've trained them to do it. You've allowed yourself to be used, to be pushed aside, to be treated like you are less important than everyone else around you. Let's get one thing straight. Respect isn't given, it's earned. And it's not earned by giving everyone a free pass to take whatever they want from you. Respect is earned by standing your ground. It's earned by knowing your worth and demanding that others see it too. It's earned by having the courage to say no when it counts. Here's the harsh reality that's difficult to face. You teach people how to treat you. If you allow people to treat you as a doormat, if you let them take from you without ever considering your needs, if you let them trample over your boundaries, that is exactly what they will do. They will never respect you because you have shown them, time and time again, that you don't respect yourself. You've shown them that your time is theirs to take. Your energy is theirs to drain. Your needs don't matter. But here's the kicker. It's not too late to change. The moment you decide to stop being a doormat is the moment you take control of your life. The moment you start saying no to people's demands and yes to your own needs, you stop being invisible. You stop being a tool for others to use. You start showing the world that you value yourself. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. Imagine a life where people stop walking all over you. Imagine a life where you stand tall, unapologetic, and firm in your beliefs and boundaries. That's the life you deserve. That's the life you need to fight for. Stop being afraid of saying no. Stop being afraid of disappointing others. Because here's the truth that no one will tell you. Being too nice doesn't make you a better person. It makes you a weaker one. You give and give until there's nothing left to give, and people notice that. They'll keep taking from you until you're drained, empty, and used up. Let me make this clear. You are not a doormat. You are not here to serve everyone else at the expense of your own well-being. You are a person with value, with dreams, with boundaries, and those things deserve to be respected. No one will respect you unless you first respect yourself. If you want to stop being a doormat, you need to draw the line. You need to stand firm in your boundaries, and you need to demand that people treat you with the same level of respect you give to them. It's time to stop tolerating disrespect. It's time to stop letting people walk all over you. You don't need to be nice to everyone. You need to be strong. You need to take control. Start saying no to people who take advantage of you. Start saying yes to yourself. Because when you stop being a doormat, the world will take you seriously. The world will respect you, and you'll finally feel the strength and the power that comes from knowing you are worthy of more than just being stepped on. You are more than a doormat. You are a force to be reckoned with. It's time to stop letting people treat you like less. It's time to start respecting yourself. It's time to reclaim your life. The choice is yours. You can continue being a doormat, or you can rise up, draw the line, and demand respect. Which will it be? Truth number 2. You teach people how to treat you. Listen carefully, because this truth hits harder than you're ready to hear. You are not a victim of how others treat you. You are the architect of it. Every time you let someone walk all over you, every time you allow someone to take advantage of your kindness, you're teaching them that it's okay. You're giving them permission to disrespect you, to disregard your boundaries, and to exploit your generosity. The power is in your hands, and you need to take responsibility for how you're allowing people to treat you. What I'm telling you is uncomfortable, but it's the hard truth. Your actions, your decisions, your choices set the tone for how people perceive and treat you. When you're constantly nice and accommodating to everyone, when you bend over backward to please others and make sure they're happy, you're telling them that their needs come before your own. You're telling them that their demands, their comfort, and their desires are more important than your time, your energy, and your well-being. And let me tell you something, you are not doing yourself any favors. You may think that by being the nice one, you're building good relationships, fostering trust, and creating an environment of positivity. But the reality is far uglier than you think. You're teaching people that you have no limits, no boundaries, and no sense of self-worth. People who can take advantage of your niceness will do just that. They'll ask more of you than you're willing to give. They'll expect you to drop everything for them, and when you say no, they'll act shocked, disappointed, or even angry. And you too often will cave in and apologize because you've conditioned yourself to believe that you're only valuable if you're giving, serving, and sacrificing. This dynamic isn't just harmful to your mental health, it's eroding your sense of self-respect. When you allow people to treat you poorly, to ignore your needs and your desires, you are actively teaching them that it's acceptable. You're signaling to the world that you are not worth standing up for, that your value is conditional on how much you can give to others. But here's the painful truth. This is not the foundation of strong, healthy relationships. You may think that by saying yes to everything and everyone, you're being a good person, a dependable friend, a loyal partner. But all you're doing is building a life where your worth is defined by how much you're willing to sacrifice for others. You're allowing people to define your value through the lens of what they can extract from you. That's not love. That's not friendship. That's not mutual respect. That's exploitation. You need to stop letting people walk all over you. You need to start teaching people that your time, your energy, and your effort are valuable, and that if they want your help, your support, or your attention, they need to respect your boundaries. If you don't teach people how to treat you, they will continue to treat you however they see fit, and most of the time, they will do it in a way that serves their own interests, not yours. It's time to stop blaming others for how they treat you. It's time to take a hard look in the mirror and realize that you've allowed this to happen. The more you give in, the more you show up for people who don't deserve your time or effort. The more you bend your values and your priorities for the sake of keeping the peace or avoiding confrontation, the more you are teaching people that they can treat you however they want. And if you want to change that, if you want to start demanding respect and showing the world what you truly deserve, you need to change your actions first. The bottom line is this: you can't control how others behave, but you can control how you allow them to treat you. If you let people walk all over you, they will. If you let people take advantage of you, they will. If you let people drain your energy, they will. But if you set boundaries, if you stand up for yourself, if you show people that your value is not negotiable, they will learn to treat you with the respect you deserve. The choice is yours. You can continue to play the victim and let people use and abuse your kindness, or you can take charge of your life, assert your worth, and teach people how to treat you. It's not easy, it's not comfortable, but it is absolutely necessary if you want to stop being taken advantage of, stop being disrespected, and start living a life where your value is recognized by the people around you. You teach people how to treat you. The question is, what message are you sending? Are you teaching them that you're someone they can walk all over, or are you teaching them that you are a force to be reckoned with, someone who demands respect and will not settle for anything less? Truth number 3, being too nice attracts users, not real friends. Let me make this crystal clear. Being too nice is not attracting genuine people to your life. It's attracting users, the people who take without giving, the people who drain you dry, leaving you with nothing but empty promises and broken trust. This is not friendship. This is manipulation, pure and simple, and it's time you stop tolerating it. Let's face it, the world isn't full of kind-hearted, selfless souls looking out for your best interests. The truth is, the more you give without setting boundaries, the more you invite people into your life who see you as a resource, not as a person. They see your kindness, your willingness to help, and they pounce. They take and take and take until there's nothing left for you, and you're left standing there, exhausted, questioning what went wrong. You've been played, and you've allowed it to happen. The sad reality is that when you're too nice, you become a target for those who want to use you for their own gain. They're not looking for a friend, they're looking for a free ride. They want your time, your energy, your resources. They want to walk all over you without ever having to give anything in return. This is the ugly side of niceness that no one talks about. You think that by always being available, by always helping, by always being the nice one, you're building strong relationships. But you're not. You're building a network of people who see you as weak, as someone they can manipulate without consequence. And let me be clear, they will take as much as you allow them. They will drain you dry. And once they've squeezed you for all you're worth, they will disappear into thin air without a second thought. And it's not just emotional resources they take. It's your time, your focus, your energy, the things that you need to build your own life. All of it gets sucked into a void, leaving you with nothing but the aftermath of someone else's selfishness. You'll be left wondering where your real friends are, why no one is ever there for you when you need them, why you're always the one giving and never receiving. But the truth is, you've conditioned them to be this way. You've trained them to expect you to be the one who always says yes, the one who always steps up, the one who always sacrifices. And now that you've trained them, they're not going to change unless you do. You've taught them that you're someone who can be used, someone who will always be there to help, no matter the cost to yourself. It's time to wake up and realize that this isn't the kind of friendship you want. The people who really care about you aren't the ones who come to you when they need something. They're the ones who are there with you in the good times and the bad, who offer support without expecting anything in return. Real friends don't drain you, they lift you up. They give as much as they take, and they respect your boundaries, your time, and your energy. They don't use you. Being too nice only attracts people who are opportunistic, who see you as a stepping stone. You become nothing more than a tool for them to use, a means to an end. They'll take what they can from you and move on, leaving you with nothing but a sense of betrayal. You've given them everything, and they've given you nothing in return. That's the ugly truth, but it's one you need to hear. And what's worse? You start to lose yourself in the process. The more you give to these users, the more you lose sight of who you are, of what you want, of what truly matters to you. You become so focused on fulfilling their needs, so focused on making sure everyone else is happy, that you forget to take care of your own soul. You sacrifice your happiness, your well-being, your dreams, all for the sake of pleasing others who wouldn't hesitate to walk away once you no longer serve them. This is the dark side of being too nice. It's not kindness, it's self-sabotage. You're not building meaningful relationships. You're building a foundation for manipulation, disappointment, and regret. You're allowing people to walk all over you. And in doing so, you're teaching them that your worth is determined by what you can do for them, not by who you are as a person. You deserve better than this. You deserve relationships where your value isn't measured by your ability to serve others. You deserve people who respect you, who give as much as they take, who are there for you when you need them. But none of this will happen unless you stop allowing yourself to be used. You have to stop being the person who says yes to everything, who bends over backwards to please others. It's time to start setting boundaries. It's time to stop tolerating people who take without giving. It's time to start building real relationships based on mutual respect, not on what you can offer. Stop being too nice and start being the person who commands respect. Only then will you attract the kind of people who will truly value you for who you are, not for what you can give them. Stop being used. Start being respected. Truth number 4. Saying yes to everyone means saying no to yourself. This is the truth you've been avoiding. The truth you've been too scared to confront. When you say yes to everyone else, you are saying no to yourself. Every time you put someone else's needs, demands, or wishes ahead of your own, you are sacrificing a part of who you are, a part of what you want, and a part of what you need to become the person you were meant to be. It's time to stop lying to yourself. It's time to face the brutal truth of how being too nice is destroying your potential. Let's break this down. Every yes you give away comes at a cost that you're unwilling to admit. Every time you say, "Sure, I'll help. Yes, I'll do that for you. Of course I can make it," you're creating space in your life for other people's demands. And with each one, you push your own needs further down the list. Your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, they all get buried beneath a pile of favors, obligations, and guilt. The more you please others, the less time you have for yourself, for your own growth, for your own success. You think you're being generous, that you're being the good person everyone wants you to be, but in reality, you're creating a future of regret and dissatisfaction. Why? Because every yes is an act of self-sabotage. Every time you sacrifice your own needs for someone else's, you are actively choosing to deny yourself the opportunity to thrive. You're too busy living someone else's life to build your own. Think about it. You're so caught up in trying to make everyone else happy that you're drowning in a sea of expectations. You're constantly running around, doing things that you don't even want to do, but you can't say no because you're afraid of what they'll think. You're terrified that if you don't keep saying yes, they'll be disappointed, angry, or, worst of all, leave you. You've convinced yourself that your worth is tied to how much you can do for others. But let me tell you this. Your worth is not determined by how much you say yes to others. Your worth is determined by how much you are willing to say yes to yourself. Here's the most brutal part of it all. By saying yes to everyone else, you are allowing your own dreams to rot in the background. Every time you pick up the phone to help someone, when you agree to yet another request, you're pushing your future further away. You're sinking into a life of mediocrity, of unfulfilled potential. You may think you're being kind, you may think you're being noble, but what you're really doing is running away from your own greatness. You think your life is just about making others happy. But the truth is, you're not even making them happy. You're just a tool for their convenience. You're not truly respected. You're not seen as someone with value, someone with purpose. You are just a placeholder, a temporary solution to their immediate need. So let's get this straight. You can't please everyone. You will never ever be able to make everyone around you happy, no matter how hard you try. And do you know why? Because people will always take and take and take. They will never stop demanding more of your time, more of your energy, more of your effort. But the worst part is, they won't care when you have nothing left to give. They won't notice that you're exhausted, that you're worn out, that you've lost your spark. And the moment you say no to them, they'll turn on you, as if your only value was in being a servant to their needs. This is the inevitable price you pay for saying yes to everyone. Your dreams, your goals, your purpose, they all vanish into thin air. They drown under the weight of everyone else's desires. You become the person who is always available, always willing, always trying to please, until one day you wake up and realize you've lost yourself. You've lost your drive, your vision, and your reason for getting out of bed in the morning. It's time to stop pretending that saying yes all the time is a badge of honor. It's not. It's a sign of weakness. A sign that you don't have the strength to set boundaries, to prioritize yourself, to take control of your own life. Stop being the person who lives in constant sacrifice for others. Stop being the person who is so afraid of rejection that you're willing to destroy your own future. If you want to take your life back, if you want to build something meaningful, if you want to start living the life you've always dreamed of, then you must start saying no. Not just to others, but to the parts of you that are holding you back. The parts that tell you that your worth is tied to your ability to please others. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. What you need is to put yourself first, to say no when it matters so that you can focus on what truly matters to you. Every time you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you say yes to a future that aligns with your true desires. Every time you set a boundary, you reclaim your life. You reclaim your time. You reclaim your energy. And you start building the future you've always wanted. A future that's built on your terms, not the terms of everyone else. Stop living for others. Start living for you. Start saying no to the things that hold you back and say yes to the life you are meant to lead. It's time to stop sacrificing yourself. It's time to start living with purpose. Truth number 5. The world rewards strength, not submissiveness. The world doesn't care about your kindness. It doesn't care if you always put others before yourself. It doesn't care if you've spent your life trying to be pleasant, agreeable, and accommodating. The world rewards one thing and one thing only: strength. Let's stop pretending that being nice is enough to succeed, to get ahead, to earn respect. You need to wake up to the harsh reality. The softer you are, the more you become a target. The more you bend, the more you break. The world will see you as easy prey, and it will take everything it can from you without ever looking back. And that is a fact you cannot ignore any longer. There's a brutal truth that many people refuse to face. The world respects strength. It respects those who know their worth and refuse to let anyone treat them as less. It rewards the ones who are decisive, assertive, and relentless. And if you're sitting back, waiting for people to just naturally appreciate your kindness, your generosity, and your willingness to serve, you're in for a crushing disappointment. Because that's not how this world works. People will use you. They will take advantage of you. They will manipulate you because, as nice as you may be, they see you as someone they can push around without resistance. Let me ask you a simple question. Do you think the world cares about your politeness when it comes to making deals, advancing in your career, or getting ahead in life? No, it doesn't. It's not looking for the person who says yes to everything, who avoids conflict at all costs, who constantly seeks to be liked and accepted. That person will always remain invisible. People don't follow nice people. They follow strong people, those who know what they want, who go after it with confidence and power. And they will step all over you if you're not one of those people. It's time to face the truth. You cannot win in this world by being a doormat. You cannot build a successful life by allowing others to walk all over you. No one respects weakness. No one respects the person who never stands up for themselves. The world does not reward submission. It rewards the ones who refuse to be taken advantage of. It rewards those who make an impact. And making an impact means asserting yourself. It means knowing when to say no. It means having the strength to walk away when someone treats you like a doormat. If you've spent your life trying to keep the peace, trying to make others happy at your own expense, trying to avoid the confrontation that comes with asserting yourself, you've been playing the wrong game. You've been following the wrong script, and now you're wondering why you're stuck. You're wondering why your career is stagnating. You're wondering why you're constantly overlooked, undervalued, and underappreciated. The answer is simple. You've been too nice, You've been too compliant. You've been too passive. And as much as you might want to deny it, it's hurt you more than you realize. The world doesn't reward submission. It rewards strength, those who know when to step up and take control of their lives. You see, there's a price to pay for being too nice. It costs you your power. It costs you your voice. It costs you your self-respect. Because when you're always putting others first, you're always sacrificing your own needs, your own desires, your own ambitions. You're telling the world that you don't matter. You're telling others that their needs and wants take precedence over yours. And do you know what happens? People see that. They see that you're easily pushed around. They see that you do anything to avoid conflict. And they use that to their advantage. They take, and they take, and they take. But here's the thing. You can stop it. You don't have to stay stuck in this cycle. You don't have to keep apologizing for taking up space. You don't have to keep shrinking yourself to make others feel comfortable. The power is in your hands. All you have to do is realize that being strong is the key to winning. The key to building respect, earning what you deserve, and creating the life you want. You can't be afraid to stand tall, to claim what is yours, and to say no when it matters most. Strength is the ultimate currency in this world, and if you aren't willing to claim it, someone else will take it from you, and that's a game you'll never win. Be strong, be decisive, be unyielding. Your success, your peace, your future, it depends on your ability to stand firm. When you stop being a doormat, when you stop allowing others to dictate your life, that's when things will start to change. So here's the bottom line. The world rewards strength, not submissiveness. Stop waiting for the world to notice your kindness. Stop hoping that people will respect you for being nice. Respect is earned through strength, and if you want to make a real impact, you need to start showing up as the strongest version of yourself. The time to take control of your life is now. Don't wait. Don't let another day go by where you're allowing yourself to be walked on. Start standing up for yourself. Start demanding respect, and start claiming the success that's rightfully yours. You deserve it, but only if you have the strength to take it. Truth number 6. Being nice won't protect you from pain. Let's get one thing straight. Being nice will not protect you from pain. This is one of the hardest pills to swallow, but it's also one of the most critical truths you'll ever have to face. You've been led to believe that kindness shields you, that if you just play nice, if you just keep everyone happy, you'll avoid the hardships of life, the pain, the betrayal, the disappointment. That's a lie. Nice doesn't protect you from pain. It doesn't shield you from being used, manipulated, or taken advantage of. It doesn't give you immunity from hurtful people or bad decisions. It doesn't make the world softer. It doesn't soften the blows that life throws your way. In fact, if you're relying on niceness to protect you, you're only setting yourself up for more pain. Why? Because being nice is often a disguise for weakness, and people prey on weakness. You can be the sweetest person on the planet, the most accommodating, the most pleasant, but if you're not strong enough to set boundaries, if you're not tough enough to say no when you need to, if you're too afraid to protect your own well-being, the world will eat you alive. People will take advantage of your kindness, push you beyond your limits, and when they're done, they'll walk away without a second thought, leaving you broken and empty. Being nice doesn't make you immune to pain. It just makes you a target for more of it. The pain you experience as a result of being too nice isn't always physical. It's emotional, psychological, and spiritual. It's the pain of sacrificing your own needs for others. It's the pain of constantly giving, and getting nothing in return. It's the pain of watching people walk all over you while you stand silently, hoping they'll notice how hard you're trying to please them. You've got to understand this. Being nice is not the same as being strong, and being weak only invites more pain into your life. When you let others walk over you, when you refuse to stand up for yourself, when you don't have the courage to say no and protect your boundaries, that's when the pain starts to build. You may think that if you keep being nice, if you keep pleasing others, if you just keep taking the hits, eventually they'll recognize your sacrifice. But that's not how life works. People don't respect you for your niceness. They respect you for your strength. And when you don't have strength, When you're constantly yielding to others and putting their needs above your own, you're left with one thing: a life filled with regret, resentment, and pain. The worst part of this pain is that it's avoidable. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to suffer in silence anymore. The moment you start valuing yourself, the moment you stop allowing people to treat you like a doormat, that's when the pain begins to subside. It's when you start setting boundaries, when you start saying no to the things and people that drain you, that's when you regain control over your life, your happiness, and your peace. Here's the truth you need to hear. Your niceness won't save you from heartbreak. It won't save you from losing friends, from losing respect, from losing opportunities. The world doesn't reward niceness for the sake of niceness. It rewards strength, decisiveness, and the ability to walk away when things aren't serving you. Pain isn't a punishment. It's a consequence of not having the courage to be strong. It's the price you pay for choosing to be nice over choosing to be strong. So what do you do about it? Stop relying on niceness to protect you. Stop pretending that if you just keep everyone happy, everything will be okay. It won't. The pain will keep coming. The heartache will keep piling up. The only way to protect yourself from pain is to become strong, to build the emotional resilience to handle the difficult situations, to set boundaries and say no when necessary. Strength is the ultimate armor against the pain of life, not niceness. It's time for a change. Stop waiting for life to spare you just because you're nice. Stop expecting that people will treat you with respect just because you've been kind to them. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And the way you do that is by embracing strength, by learning to say no, by refusing to allow people to walk all over you. Once you do that, once you reclaim your power, the pain of being nice will begin to fade away. You'll find yourself standing taller, feeling more secure, and yes, even happier. Because strength, not niceness, is what will protect you from the pain. So the bottom line is this: being nice won't protect you from pain. It never will. Only strength, boundaries, and decisiveness will. If you want to protect yourself from the heartache and the disappointment of being taken advantage of, stop being nice. Start being strong. Start taking action. Start taking control. That's the only way to ensure the pain stops. Truth number 7. You can't save everyone, and you shouldn't listen up, because this is a harsh reality that you cannot afford to ignore. You are not a savior, and it's time to let go of the misguided notion that you can and should fix everyone else's problems. This is the dark side of being too nice. It's that nagging, insidious idea that you must help everyone, no matter the cost to your own well-being. But here's the brutal truth. You can't save everyone, and trying to do so will drain you dry and leave you with nothing but regrets. You've been conditioned to believe that being nice means helping others, that if you can just solve their problems, ease their pain, or give them the support they need, everything will be okay. But that's a dangerous lie. In the real world, being too nice isn't a superpower. It's a vulnerability. When you constantly sacrifice yourself to help others, when you give everything you have and expect nothing in return, you're not building relationships. You're building resentment, exhaustion, and burnout. The truth is that not everyone wants to be saved, and many people don't deserve your time, your energy, or your endless sacrifices. There are people out there who will never appreciate what you do for them. They will take, and once they've drained you, they'll move on to the next person who is naive enough to believe they can save them too. The truth is, you can't rescue someone who isn't willing to help themselves. If you're honest with yourself, you know this. You've given your all to people who've never cared about your well-being. You've spent sleepless nights trying to solve someone else's problem, only to be left feeling empty and unappreciated. You've given advice to people who never listen, who never take action, who expect you to clean up their mess without ever lifting a finger. And what do you get in return? Nothing. You get no gratitude, no respect, no change. Just more of the same. Let's be real. You cannot fix someone else's life if they're not ready to fix it themselves. That's a truth you need to wake up to, because you're wasting your time and energy on people who won't take responsibility for their own actions. It doesn't matter how many times you tell them what to do, how much you encourage them, how much you sacrifice for them. If they aren't willing to take action for themselves, nothing is going to change. And that's not your fault. That's not your burden to bear. So here's the hard truth that you need to hear. Stop trying to save everyone. Stop throwing yourself into the flames for people who would never do the same for you. Stop bending over backward for those who are perfectly content staying stuck in their misery because they're afraid to take responsibility for their own lives. And most importantly, stop expecting to be the hero in everyone else's story. It's not your job to save the world, and frankly, trying to do so is a recipe for self-destruction. You may think you're being noble, that you're being kind, that you're being a good person by constantly giving, by always being there for others, but you're not. You're enabling their dependence. You're putting yourself last, and in doing so, you're teaching them that they don't have to take responsibility for their own actions. You're letting them stay stuck in a cycle of victimhood, while you sacrifice your own happiness and well-being. That's not kindness. That's self-destruction. I know it feels good to help people, to believe that your efforts can make a difference. But here's the reality. Sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is let them fail, let them struggle, let them experience the consequences of their actions. That's when real change happens, when someone is forced to face their own reality and take control of their own life. And guess what? You are not their savior. Their change comes from within, not from you constantly stepping in and doing the hard work for them. It's time to stop playing God, to stop carrying the weight of other people's lives on your shoulders. You are responsible for your own life, and that's all. You don't have to carry everyone else's burdens. Let them figure it out on their own. Let them take responsibility for their own actions. It's not cruel, it's necessary, and it's the only way you'll ever find peace. So, the next time someone asks you for help, ask yourself, is this person willing to help themselves, or am I the one doing all the work? Because if you're the only one trying to fix the problem, you're not helping anyone. You're enabling a cycle of dependence that will only continue to drain you. Here's the bottom line. You can't save everyone, and you shouldn't even try. It's time to take back your life. It's time to stop sacrificing your happiness for people who won't appreciate it. It's time to say no to being everyone's savior and yes to being your own hero. You've got one life. Don't waste it trying to fix others. Start fixing yourself, start standing up for your own well-being, and start taking responsibility for your own life. That's how you'll build the strength and resilience you need to truly make a difference in the world, by first saving yourself. Truth number 8. People-pleasing is a form of self-betrayal. If you've been living your life wrapped up in the insidious need to please others, it's time to face the brutal truth. People-pleasing is a form of self-betrayal. You may think that by saying yes to everyone, by sacrificing your time, your energy, your happiness for others, you're doing the right thing. You may even feel some temporary satisfaction in being the person everyone can count on. But let me tell you this, and don't take it lightly. You are lying to yourself, and in doing so, you are betraying your own worth, your values, and your very sense of identity. Let that sink in. People-pleasing is not kindness. It's a weakness. It's an addiction to validation, a desperate attempt to be loved, admired, and accepted by everyone around you. But at what cost? You are constantly compromising your true self in exchange for fleeting moments of approval that mean absolutely nothing in the long run. You're making yourself small to fit into the expectations of others, losing the essence of who you really are. Now, I want you to think for a moment. How many times have you said yes when every fiber of your being wanted to scream no? How often have you gone along with someone else's plans, even though they didn't align with your values or goals, just because you didn't want to rock the boat? This is the silent, hidden cost of people-pleasing. It's the slow, quiet erosion of your own self-respect. This isn't just about saying yes when you should be saying no. It's deeper than that. People-pleasing becomes a form of self-betrayal because you abandon your own desires, your own needs, your own boundaries to serve others. You are constantly bending, twisting, and contorting yourself to fit into a mold that doesn't reflect your truth, that doesn't represent the person you're meant to be. You lose yourself in the pursuit of others' happiness at the expense of your own. People pleasers live in a state of constant anxiety. You're always walking on eggshells, never fully authentic because you're terrified of upsetting someone. Every decision, every action, every word that comes out of your mouth is filtered through the lens of what others might think of you. You are no longer living for yourself, but for the approval of others. And here's the kicker. People can smell this desperation from a mile away. When you are desperate to be liked, when you throw away your own beliefs just to fit in, it's obvious. And what happens? People take advantage of it. They take your willingness to please and exploit it. They know you'll bend over backward to avoid confrontation, so they push harder. They use your own kindness against you. Do you think that constantly appeasing others makes you respected? No. It makes you look weak, indecisive, and unworthy of genuine respect. People don't admire someone who sacrifices their own identity for the sake of others. They respect those who stand their ground, who live with integrity, and who prioritize their own values and goals. Here's a reality check for you. You will never be truly happy as long as you are living your life for other people. It doesn't matter how many people like you, admire you, or depend on you. The truth is, people-pleasing robs you of your personal power. It forces you to sacrifice your authenticity for something shallow, something fleeting. You've given your energy to everyone else, and now what do you have left for yourself? Nothing. You have no energy to build your own life, no time to nurture your own dreams. You've poured yourself into everyone else's bucket and left yours empty. It's time for you to stop betraying yourself. It's time to reclaim your power and start living authentically. Stop pretending to be someone you're not, just to avoid conflict or rejection. You don't need to be liked by everyone, and frankly, you shouldn't want to be. True power lies in being unapologetically you. When you stop bending over backward to please everyone, when you stand firm in your own beliefs, you become a force to be reckoned with. Understand this. People-pleasing is the enemy of personal growth. It prevents you from achieving your potential because you're constantly distracted by the need for others' validation. You can't focus on your goals, your career, or your relationships if you're constantly concerned with what others think. You are trapped in a cycle of seeking external approval rather than cultivating your own internal strength. It's time to break free. Stop betraying yourself by choosing others' needs over your own. Start setting clear boundaries and understand that you are not responsible for other people's happiness. You cannot control how others perceive you, and you shouldn't try. The only thing you can control is how much of yourself you are willing to give away. And trust me, you don't need to give away everything just to be accepted. The road to freedom begins with saying no. Saying no to the people who expect too much, saying no to the demands that drain you, and saying no to the mindset that your worth depends on how much you give to others. You must say no to people-pleasing in order to say yes to yourself. And remember, this isn't about being selfish. It's about being self-respecting. It's about honoring your own needs, desires, and values, and no longer allowing others to walk all over you. It's about taking ownership of your life and choosing to live authentically. Only then will you be able to truly show up for the people who matter to you, without losing yourself in the process. Stop betraying yourself for the sake of others. Start living for you. Your future self will thank you for it. Truth number 9. You have to earn respect. It's not given freely. Let's get one thing straight. Respect is not a free pass. It is not something that you are automatically entitled to simply because you show up, say please, or hold the door open. It's not handed to you because you've been kind or because you've been endlessly accommodating. Respect is earned. And if you're not actively earning it, then you have to face the fact that you're not getting it. This isn't a debate. This is a truth that you cannot ignore anymore. You want to be respected, right? You want people to listen to you, to value your opinions, to look up to you. Well, guess what? You don't get that respect just by being nice. You don't get it by being the person who always says yes, who always goes along with what everyone else wants, who never stands up for themselves. You earn respect through action, through consistency, and most importantly, through boundaries. Now let me make this even clearer. When you're constantly trying to please everyone, when you sacrifice your own needs for the sake of others, what you're really saying is, I don't value myself enough to set boundaries. You're handing over the reins of your life to other people. And guess what? They won't respect you for it. They will use you. They will take advantage of you. Why? Because people don't respect doormats. They step on them. If you want respect, you have to demand it. No one will ever respect you if you don't first show that you respect yourself. And that means setting boundaries, speaking your truth, and taking action that reflects your worth. It means refusing to let others walk all over you, and instead standing firm in your own identity. Respect is built on strength, not weakness. Think about this. How many times have you given in to people only to feel resentful afterward? How many times have you let someone take advantage of your kindness, your time, your energy, just to avoid conflict? That's not earning respect. That's enabling disrespect. You're giving others permission to treat you like you don't matter, and they will follow your example. They will see you as someone who can be walked over, and they will treat you as such. You see, the world doesn't reward the passive. It rewards the people who have the courage to stand up for themselves, who demand their space, their time, their dignity. It rewards people who have the strength to say no when they mean it, to say yes when it serves them, and to stand their ground no matter what. Those are the people who command respect, not the ones who are constantly bending over backwards to please everyone. When you live in fear of upsetting others, when you live in constant anxiety over whether or not people will like you, you send out an energy of weakness. People can sense it. It's like blood in the water to a predator. They see that you have no spine, no strength, no authority. They can smell the desperation to be liked from miles away. And that's when they start to walk all over you, because they know they can. Here's the truth no one tells you. You are responsible for the way people treat you. If you let people walk all over you, it's because you've taught them that it's okay. If you allow people to disrespect you, it's because you haven't shown them that you won't tolerate it. It is your responsibility to protect your dignity, your self-worth, and your peace. If you don't, no one else will. You cannot rely on others to respect you if you haven't first respected yourself enough to set boundaries and demand to be treated with dignity. Respect isn't a favor that others grant you. It is something you must demand with your actions. Respect is earned every single day through your words, your decisions, and the way you carry yourself. It's earned by the choices you make, the way you set boundaries, the way you stand firm when things get tough, and the way you hold your ground when everyone else tries to push you around. You've been too nice for too long, and it's time to change. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop pretending that you don't matter. Stop letting people walk all over you just to avoid confrontation or to keep the peace. You are not here to be everyone's doormat. You are here to make an impact, to live with purpose, and to demand the respect you deserve. When you start treating yourself with respect, when you start owning your boundaries, you'll notice something remarkable happen. People will start to treat you differently. They will begin to respect you, not because you ask for it, but because you've shown them that you are worthy of it. And those who can't handle that respect, they will fall away. And you know what? Good riddance. They weren't meant for your life anyway. So let's make it clear. Respect is not a gift. It's earned. You need to earn it every single day by standing tall, speaking your truth, setting boundaries, and never compromising your self-worth. If you want people to respect you, you have to show them you deserve it. And that starts with respecting yourself first. Don't wait for others to give you the respect you think you deserve. Take it. We have more interesting videos about Stoicism and the way of life. If you want to watch a video about 10 proven strategies to stop procrastinating forever, please click link above in the video. If you like the video or you don't want to miss further videos about Stoicism, please subscribe. Truth number 10. The most powerful word you can learn is no. Let me tell you something that will shock you. The most powerful word you can learn is no. That's right, no. It's the word that will set you free. It's the word that will demand respect. It's the word that will stop you from being walked all over taken advantage of, and constantly drained by the demands of others. For too long, you've been afraid of saying it. You've been terrified of disappointing people, of causing conflict, of seeming rude or selfish. You've lived your life bending over backwards to please everyone around you, even when it's killed your energy, your time, and your sense of self-worth. But here's the hard truth. Being too nice isn't a virtue. It's a prison. And the key to that prison is a single word. No. I know you've been taught that niceness is the key to success, that people-pleasing is the way to win favor, to build relationships, to get ahead. But listen closely. It's all a lie. People don't respect you for constantly saying yes when you want to say no. They respect strength. They respect boundaries. They respect decisiveness. When you constantly agree to everything, you aren't earning respect. You're giving it away. You're showing the world that your time, your needs, your values are not important enough to fight for. You're teaching people that your self-respect is for sale, and they will happily buy it at the cheapest price. Here's the thing. You can't do it all. You can't be everything to everyone. You can't fulfill every expectation, take on every responsibility, and be available to everyone who asks. It's simply impossible. And yet, here you are, burning yourself out, saying yes to things that don't align with your values, putting your own needs on the back burner just to please someone else. Why? Because you've been conditioned to believe that saying no is selfish or rude. You've been made to think that if you disappoint someone, if you don't give them exactly what they want, they won't like you. And worst of all, you've been tricked into believing that their needs are more important than your own. Let me tell you something crucial. Your needs matter. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person of value. It means you know who you are, and you're not willing to sacrifice your core beliefs, your self-worth, or your mental health just to keep someone else happy. The word no isn't just about rejecting people. It's about rejecting what doesn't serve you. It's about taking control of your life and your decisions. When you say no, you are saying yes to yourself. You are taking ownership of your life. You are refusing to let others dictate how you live, what you do, and how you spend your precious time. The moment you embrace the power of no, you break free from the chains of people-pleasing, and you claim back the authority over your own life. Let me put it in terms you can't ignore. If you keep saying yes to everyone, you're saying no to your future, to your dreams, to your happiness. Every time you prioritize someone else's needs over your own, you are putting your future goals, your passions, your well-being on the back burner. You are actively choosing to put yourself last. But why? Because you're afraid of what others will think? Because you're terrified of rejection? Because you think being liked is more important than being respected? Here's what you need to hear loud and clear. Being liked is overrated. It's time to wake up and realize that people-pleasing will never get you where you want to go. It will never make you successful, happy, or fulfilled. People will use you. People will take advantage of you. People will drain you. And when you're left with nothing to give, they won't respect you. They won't be grateful. They will move on to the next person who doesn't have the strength to say no. So, what do you do about it? You start using the word no without guilt, without fear, and without hesitation. You start drawing boundaries. You start protecting your time. You start choosing your needs over the needs of others when it matters. It won't be easy at first. You will feel uncomfortable. You will feel guilty. You will feel the pressure to explain yourself, to justify your decisions. But let me tell you this. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your peace. You don't need to apologize for saying no to things that don't serve you. And here's the thing about no. It's a gateway. Saying no to the wrong things will open up space for you to say yes to the right things. It will allow you to focus on what truly matters, your goals, your growth, your happiness. It will allow you to take decisive action and reclaim your life, your time, and your energy. The moment you master the art of saying no, you will feel more powerful, more confident, and more in control than ever before. You will stop living for others. You will stop people-pleasing and start people-respecting. You will stop compromising your values and your goals just to fit in and start living a life that aligns with your true self. Understand this. The most powerful word in the world is no. Embrace it, learn it, use it, and watch as your life transforms. Till the next time, stay strong and live wisely.